The classic attack, the classic defense, the Snow Widowmaker and the Five Dwarves, the literal Hitler. These are just some of the common team compositions used in Overwatch every day, but Overwatch is more than a simple first-person shooter. As the game progresses, you and your team must evolve to the challenges presented by the other team, while not opening up any weaknesses in your team your enemies can exploit. Let's look at some examples. Here we have two balanced teams fighting for a control point. Each member of the team has their own responsibilities and is expected to fill their roles. In Overwatch, each hero has both strengths and weaknesses. We call these counters. Assuming the same skill level between players, if a McCree and a Reaper fight head-to-head, the McCree will most of the time win. All heroes have counters, but it's up to you and your team to decide what role everyone should take. Let's go back to our example. Well, everything looks balanced, so... Wait a minute, something's not right. The Mercy on Team 1 has gotten sick of getting mowed down by the Bastion, so she has switched to Genji to try to take the Bastion out on her own. This has left the team without a support hero, and landed them in a very heavy disadvantage. Plus, if the enemy McCree is even slightly good, he will have you leveled before you can say,
"It's high noon."
This brings us to Lesson 1. It's better to communicate with your team and plan an organized attack than trying to go 1v1 with a player you don't like. I get it. Getting killed sucks, but that's no reason to hang your team up to dry, especially if you're playing to win. Now come on, time to be a team player. Change back to a support character. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Fucking Mercy playing on a 2000 era compact with a track. Once you establish a basic team dynamic and proper communication, then you are free to experiment with counters and plays. Let's take a look at another example. Oh my god. What the fuck do you think? Lesson 2. Your role in a cohesive team composition. Let's face it, we can't all be Genjis or Hanzos. In a game like Overwatch, it's very easy for a person to just settle for one or two heroes and play them exclusively. What's that? Don't shoot, get that out of here. But no matter how good you are at Widowmaker, or more often than not, how good you think you are, refusing to fill a needed position in your team because you can't be bothered to play anything other than Reaper makes you a poor team player. And don't misunderstand me. There's a difference between playing a character you like and only playing a character you like. As a player of Overwatch, and more importantly, a part of the team, you should be able to proficiently play a minimum of 4 heroes. 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 tank, and 1 support, minus Symmetra. This gives you the flexibility to adapt to the game you're playing and fill in where your team may have holes. But 4 players is the bare minimum. Forward harassers, tank killers, builders, snipers. These are just some of the other players that can be incorporated into your team once the basics are filled, and once the opposition has shown their hand. This brings us nicely into Lesson 3, hero counters, and the appropriate action to take when you're getting shit-stomped. On his own, Roadhog may seem unstoppable, but against a Reaper, suddenly he's much more manageable. But now that Reaper is looking mighty overpowered, that is until he tangles with McCree. But even McCree checks his closet at night for Widowmaker. And the same with Widowmaker and Winston. Every Overwatch hero has strengths and weaknesses that can be exploited by the player or the enemy, and it's up to you to know what you and your team are capable of. Let's look at another example. Here we see an enemy team. At face value, it looks very formidable. But with what we've learned, even this heavily armored shitshow is no match for our team. We will start with the Roadhog. Most commonly, Roadhogs are forward defense and specialize in picking off squishy heroes. But as we discussed, a skilled Reaper is more than a match for a Roadhog, especially with distractions, or even better, weakeners, such as Zenyatta's Discord Orb. Now, a damage-boosted Bastion behind a Reinhardt may seem like an insurmountable obstacle, but the combination of a Mei Ice Wall and a skilled Junkrat can make quick work out of shielded enemies. Or a Mei as a distraction and a Pharah can also break their lines, but be careful, Pharah is no match for a Bastion at any distance. Now, onto the Hanzo and the Genji. Zenyatta's Discord Orb can quickly make work of a sniper, when paired with any number of hit-scan weapons, but to really stick it to the harassers, you need a tank, with jets. A d.va is more than capable of intercepting perched snipers or forward harassers, and her defense matrix can stall a Bastion while teammates deliver the finishing blow. And finally, against such high damage opponents, a second healer is usually required. especially when the Zenyatta is on the front lines. A Lucio can quickly and effectively move around the map while healing multiple heroes' poke damage, and delivering a fair amount of damage himself. He's also much more difficult to hit, being the fastest character in the game. As you can see, even the hardest defenses can be effectively countered with the appropriate team composition, and that's not even including half of the team synergy that can be utilized with practice. But this example doesn't take into account the skill of the other players and the deficiencies in your team. Sometimes the other team is just better than you, and there's no shame in losing provided you gave it your best shot and countered appropriately. It's only if you lose because you have no support in 4 Widowmakers then you get to feel bad. And the fourth and final lesson is to have fun. While playing to your strength and countering the opponents according, bottom line is, Overwatch is a game above all, and games should never feel like a grind. And believe you me, I understand everyone wants to be the poster heroes, but losing 5 games in a row because everybody wants to play Tracer or Hanzo is no fun at all for you or your team. The fun of Overwatch is outplaying the opponents. The feeling of winning a round against clearly superior players with communication and teamwork far trumps the occasional kill with Genji. It's up to you to set the example, not only for skill and teamwork, but for sportsmanship. And win or lose, we're all in this together. I'd just like to give a big thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. I have over 200 subscribers now, and I'm almost at 11,000 views, so if you've been subscribed from the very beginning, the 3 of you know who I'm talking about, or if you just subscribed recently because of the new Overwatch videos I've been putting out, then hey, welcome, thanks a bunch. I'm hoping to put up new videos, but again, work and Overwatch are taking up pretty much all of my time, and that pesky sleeping I have to do to survive, so yes, again, thank you so much, and new videos are out as soon as I can make them in my head and then on the computer. Okay, bye.